video here. This one we'll be talking about why I love Superman. And mostly the reason I want to make this video because I want to be able to lay out, because a lot of people complain about, oh, you can't make any good Superman movies or comics because he's too powerful. You can't make anything interesting out of him. Yeah, you can. It's not even about his powers. He's not Goku. Why the reason I love Superman is because it's not even just because how cool his power is. It's because he's like just innate good individual, just like a all-out decent person, just like Captain America. Just like despite adversaries he might fight like Lex Luthor or Parasite, a Livewire, or whomever, he retains an unshakable foundation of optimism and hope for the future. That's why when he got that crest of the S, is a symbol for hope. He's the beacon that his father sent out as a baby. Because I still remember the lines, like, they're great people, Kal-El, they wish to be. They only lack the light to show them the way. That's why I sent them you, my only son. And he's pretty much the whole Moses, Jesus allegory. But great Superman stories is pretty much, just like with Captain America, it's just like challenge his morality in some fashion, or if you have to challenge his powers in particular, like the Parasite is a good foil to deal, or even General Zod is a foil for Superman when it comes to, he cannot punch to necessarily those kind of people. Well, he can but can't, because they can be just as powerful as he is, because they can, like, Parasite can take the same abilities from him and use the same power set, or General Zod already has his power set, so he can easily match him, blow for blow. But he deal with like Lex Luthor, he got the kind of like a whole brains versus brawn scenario. He can't necessarily fight Lex Luthor when he got all these machinations. That proves a challenge if you got certain writers doing it in a particular way, or if they don't waste, because everybody wants to do a Batman story. It's so easy. It's like, I love Batman too, but like everybody who's want to come right for DC always has like, I got a Batman story, I got this, we can do the Joker, which is already overplayed at this point because you had like at least a handful of Joker stuff in the past few years. And right now they're finally taking a break off the stuff after the Joker war. But you got all these Tom Kings and like all these other iconic comic book writers. Like, put that same energy that you would into like a Batman, and try to use your imagination and put in like a good Superman story. It's been done. You can do it. It's clear that you have the wherewithal to make a good story. You're just wasting it on Batman. It's like, give Batman a rest. Honestly, I think like we can like give, not like cancel Batman books, but slow down on Batman for a while and give these other heroes a chance, or at least other writers like, okay, I know you got like an idea for like another Batman thing, but can you like tell us a good Aquaman story, or tell us like there's been a handful of good Wonder Womans recently, but give us a good Superman story, because there's certain like Superman stories, like I said, challenges morality, something that he cannot outpunch. Where, like, a good example, like I'm thinking about this now, so I better mention this. Like, a highly recommended comic book, Superman Earth One. Especially if you want to get into a Superman story, you can also read like the first Action Comics issue number 1 online. Superman. It's very old school, but Superman Earth 1 is a good jumping on point just to familiarize yourself with a good Superman origin story. It's very, very good. Pretty sure it has 3 volumes of it. It's very, very detailed, very good, great art, great writing, and it's like one particular issue where he's trying to make his way into the city, and he's trying to see what he can do, because he can pretty much do almost anything if he wanted to. He's super smart and like very athletic, and because he can be a scientist or athlete, you know, because he can pretty much use his gifts, you know. Well, it'll be pretty much be kind of like selfish thing, but that's why he doesn't jump into it. Is like, or at least the scientific stuff he can use to betterment of mankind. He thought about that, because you got a very, like, you know, intelligent, you know, very super brain that can retain so much information, because he got super memory, and he can process things a lot faster than your average human being. But it's just like he can do so much more. Just not just that, but he can use other his other abilities for much more. He's trying to figure himself out, essentially. Then you realize, well, I'm not going to spoil much, but you got to check out Earth One. But at least another scenario, and I could probably get in volume two, and it's like a great, you know, thing, a great foil to have for Superman. It's very brief, but he managed to resolve the matter. And like, I'm pretty sure at the end of the volume, where he's seen like on the news about this particular dictator in a different country, the way he's mistreating his people. Superman flies over there. He wants to do something about it. He doesn't want to be a tyrant. That's the thing, because everybody wants. That's another thing I want to lay out right now. I am sick and tired of everybody wants to do, and I blame Injustice video game for this, because it started with this. We always, you know, had like different comics with different versions of Superman, where he's like black in one universe, a black, you know, man in one universe, or he's been raised by Soviet Russia in another one. That kind of thing is like, but you know, but in Justice Superman in the video game, ever since then, you get things like the movies like what was like was a kid with Superman like powers that went insane, with like a different Superman like interpretation, and kills, you know, going around killing people because he went bonkers. Or the TV show The Boys, and you got like Homelander, who's like a complete psychopath. Or even recently, like the Invincible comic, when you got like, you know, forgot the man's name, but the guy who's supposed to be their Superman turns out to be, spoiler alert for the comic if you haven't read it, or spoiler alert, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring it up in the TV show, but spoiler alert, you know, plug your ears or mute this video for a minute. I'll wait. I'll do this when I'm done, okay? But that guy, who is like an allegory for Kryptonian, instead of supposed to be saving people, which he's been doing for years, he's actually meant that to prepare for to be conquered. So he's not. He's just like another bad version of Superman. Okay, so spoilers over. But like, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, you know, a lot of people who I follow all in agreement about, like, there's like a fatigue of evil Superman. It's played out at this point. Like I you know, like, let's stick with like the main Superman, which I'm pretty sure they bring in to with Henry Cavill, who's been like there's no bad version of Superman that like I like. Henry Cavill, Brandon Routh, Tom Welling, the new guy on the CW shows playing Superman, he's great. Forgot his doggone name. I want to look it up real quick, because like I do not want to not give this guy his just dues here. Tyler Hoechlin, yeah, thank you, God, thank you, Google. Tyler Hoechlin and then Christopher Reeve still he's still the bar. He is the bar when it comes to making like an ideal Superman. He's like the crux. Everything has to build off of him, because Christopher Reeve, after he researched Superman and played him, well, long after that, he lived the rest of his life after the ideals of Superman. And I highly recommend, if you get the chance, look up Christopher Reeve's interviews about his thoughts about Superman, because I'm not going to do it justice if I try to because I don't want to bastardize his speech about this. But look up Christopher Reeve's thoughts about Superman. It will like bring you to tears and like fill you with such hope and optimism, and which is expressly needed. And that's the thing. In times like this, the real Superman is sorely needed. We need Superman to be that beacon, just to remind us that we're not just animals in a cage, just like trying to fight over one another to be at the top, or at least just that's what like I miss about Superman. It's just like that smile he gives, that reassuring kind of smile, like the warmness you get when you see him on screen, just doing the right thing. It's like that. I seen it in the trailer. I haven't watched the Superman Lois. I'm gonna probably binge watch it at some point. But I remember like a particular trailer clip when like Taylor Hoechlin Superman put down this card trying to pay homage to the Action Comics #1, and this little black kid, it's like, man, I love your suit, and and with a smile on his face, he's like, thanks, my mom made it for me. It's like that's Superman. Exactly. It's like I'm tired of this Brightburn, Homelander bull crap. Like I don't want to see that anymore. It's played out. We want good Superman. We already spent the last 4 years in crap, especially in 2020. We into the new year of 2021, even though it has its crappy moments. But this is the year where we need to bring in the hope again, and it's like Henry Cavill, like I love him as Superman, and like he needs his moment to shine. It's like we're seeing that a little bit coming to the forefront in like the Snyder Cut Justice League, which I highly recommend. Is very good, very much like a huge improvement over the theatrical version. But I love Superman and his optimism. It's like, I remember as a kid watching the first Christopher Reeve movie and the sequel, Superman 2, with my father as a kid. And it's like, that has always been my Superman. Just saving the day, using, he's not like smart like Batman, and he's smart, but he's not like like one of the geniuses of the DC universe like Batman is. But he outwits his opponents, and it's like he's supposed to be he leads by example. And people always complain about, oh, like I can't relate to Superman. He's like, I'm not a super. He's not meant to be relatable. He's an ideal. He's something to strive to be. That's why he doesn't wear a mask. That's why he doesn't hide his face. He's a Superman. He's like just not just by power, just by virtues that we should aspire to be. It is like very few people in real life. I see that has that kind of Superman ethos. I think Christopher Reeve has that ethos of Superman. Keanu Reeves has that ethos of Superman. He's like a very genuine human being. If you look up interviews about Keanu Reeves, you get to see like this is like a genuine dude, and it's like the realest people. And same thing with Christopher Reeves, like those are just two prime examples of like human beings that live that life like you would expect Superman to live. And it's like I try to keep that same mindset of Superman. Like, of course, I have my faults. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but it's like when I did my video of why I love Spider-Man. It's just I want if Superman and was real, he would want us to at least try, go out our way for another person, be the miracles for the other people, and it's like he's such an like I said, he's an inspiring character. That's what he was meant to be when he was created by Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel. It's like he's like the ultimate immigrant, because those were two Jewish writers who they made the very first superhero. All the stuff that we're enjoying now with the CW universe, with all the superheroes there, and the Marvel MCU stuff, or the DC animated movies, or the shared universe, we wouldn't have none of that if it wasn't for Superman. He was the first. That's why I always think like he should be the icon for DC, not Batman, because Batman came after Superman. Superman was the first. And that's why, when it comes to like the movies, he was the first superhero movie that it especially did so exceptionally well. He was the linchpin. He was the seed that branched off to what we have right now. Without Superman, we wouldn't have none of this. And it's like, and I think it's like a whole domino effect. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that, was so inspired by Superman in some fashion that made a lot of human beings give us as kids that foundation of a conscience and morals that we grew up with and passed on, and it's like, if you ever watched the Smallville TV show, I remember, because I got like the DVD box set of the Smallville TV show that my little brother got me for Christmas years ago. It was like at least a year or so after the show had long since ended. And there's this like I'm pretty sure it was like behind the scenes or something like that with John Strider, or I'm pretty sure Strider, who played Jonathan Kent, probably the best Jonathan Kent that we have, out of all of them that ever did like a Jonathan Kent role. He was the best. He mentioned in an interview how like this father who had like this bad relationship with his own son, they was barely talking, and they bonded over Smallville, especially in particular between the relationship that his character had with Clark, and he was tearing up, and then both probably was tearing up, I think, and it's like that touched him, like like to his core. Is like this meant a lot to people. Superman, by and large, in some shape or fashion, shaped a lot of people. They connected bridges between two people that probably had thought it was unconnectable. They made kids grow up to be better people in some fashion, and into better adults. It's just like I said, it's like a whole domino effect. Superman, like he had that whole thing about truth, justice, and American way. Now it's pretty much like truth and justice, which is fine. But it's just that mindset. It's just that we need to bring that back. That whole Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, Tom Welling, Tyler Hoechlin, Dean Cain kind of Superman. And it's like another great example of like what we like about Superman, because he, just like Batman, they don't agree on a lot of things, but they do agree on like one major thing. They do not take a life. They refuse to take a life. And in like Superman versus the Elite, this DC anime movie is under one of my favorite DC films, which is also a video I have on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out on my YouTube channel, Talkative Carl. If you want to see all my list of favorite DC films, that is one of them. Superman versus the Elite, where pretty much the premise is that this group of you know, quote unquote heroes, these uppercomers led by this, you know, typically iconic, I didn't know at the time, but it's iconic Superman villain, part of his Rose Gallery, a psychic called Manchester Black, who decided to challenge Superman, or at least, you know, at first try to recruit him, trying to follow their lead, thinking like throwing them in jail is not going to get their job done. These people keep coming back, hurting people, innocent people. We got to execute them on the spot. No exceptions. And Superman keep telling people, that's not the way I do things. You know, I'm not a tyrant. I'm not a dictator. I'm not a god. Because he's just a farm boy from Kansas who's raised by good Midwestern people, the Kents, and it's like, that's not how I was raised, and that's not how I want to be portrayed, and that's not how I do things. And it's like people keep, and that's why it's somewhat similar to the way Captain America was in the Winter Soldier. It's like, you know, guys like Superman and Captain America, they do not, or even like even like Batman and Spider-Man, they do not change their ideals. They do not change their ideals. They force, you know, the outside people to change their ways to conform to the ideals of good and righteousness. Despite how hard it might be, because it will get hard even for them sometimes, but they stand their ground so far as like what's right and what's good in the world. And you know, and despite even like certain tragedies in the film that might happen, you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but you should check that out. It perfectly represents why, you know, Superman has to be the core good, because that whole you know, evil Superman trope thing, it needs to be laid to rest. No more of that. I mean, we have like alternate versions of Superman, like, you know, like I said, the ones that was raised by like Russians, and there's a one, you know, from the Crime Syndicate Earth 3 universe, where it's like, you know, good and evil are reverse kind of situation. But by and large, like, people are done. And I'm speaking for myself too, like, and from what I heard from other stuff that people that I follow, for the most part, there's still other people who still like that whole, you know, I want that cynical Superman, I want that edgy Superman who don't take no BS. It's like, you're missing the point. And it's like, you're like subjecting children, who like young kids currently, and because we grew up with like the good Superman, like Christopher Reeve and Tom Welling, Smallville and stuff like that, and it's like we have like the right version of what Superman actually is, as what he meant to be since his first creation. But kids nowadays, you want them to grow up in a world where you got like Homelander or Brightburn or Injustice Superman as their like examples of what Superman's supposed to be. No, I don't think so. You don't want your kids to think that is what Superman is supposed to be. That's not how it is, and it'll be wrong of you to subject young kids to that kind of version. You need them to see like Christopher Reeves, or have them watch the Smallville TV show, or watch the, you know, Superman Returns Brenda Roth movie, or even the Superman Lois Tyler Hoechlin, or Dean Cain's Superman Lois 90s TV show. Those are prime examples of what Superman actually is, and that's what they need to absorb. And if they want to fan out to see other different versions, let them make that choice, so but they don't lose that core. That's just my that's just my opinion on the subject. But that's why like I really enjoy Superman. It's just because like that optimism, that hope, and it's just like it's not even about the powers. It's just like when he just stands the hand out to people. He like in Superman Returns, it's like you get the sense of like the weight that's on him every once in a while, that like he's out in the atmosphere of Earth and he's using the superhero and he's listening to all this crime going around like in his vicinity, and he's had to make a tough call on which ones to respond to, because there's always crime going to be going on around the world. He had to it's not even just in Metropolis, which he's primarily in, but he goes off sometimes in Paris to depending on like what's the main danger is. That's like probably he has to make the tough call to make priorities of certain crimes, which he wish, and I think he either mentions in that movie or other stuff, but he brings up from time to time that he has to make tough choices, and it breaks his heart that he has to prioritize certain crimes over others, because sometimes they all are important. Nobody's life takes priority over another person's, but he just has to make that call, because despite being Superman, he cannot be everywhere at once. Despite his speed, just like with Flash, despite his super speed, he still cannot be everywhere at once, because like there's crimes happening simultaneously. And there's one comic book run that I read some point last year where it's like, there's somehow like this little black girl got kidnapped by aliens somehow, and he spent like at least, it was a short comic book run where it's like at least 3 or 4 issues where he traveled around the galaxy searching for this kid. Finally, he did. Despite trials and tribulations, the worry he has about what's going on with Lois on Earth, and it's like there's a funny issue where he's in like this galactic version of the DMV, and he's waiting in line just to use a phone call to reach out to Lois, just to make sure she's okay and let her know he's okay. And even like, and it shows like even Superman, gets frustrated every once in a while, because like if you ever been to a DMV, how stressful it is just to wait in line to get your turn to get certain things done. But when he's finally rescues the girl, he brings her bringing her back. He comforts her, and she ask him all these questions, and he answered every one of them. And like who's your favorite Robin? Well, I like them all. Come on, Superman. And he's like, the first one. Yeah, and it's like, and it's just sweet like that. Superman is meant to be charming and sweet. He's a simple farm boy from Kansas at the end of the day, despite the powers. And it's like, he takes time with people sometimes. There's one, I'm pretty sure it was like, his 1000 comic book issue, like a little over a year ago at this point, where one of the little short stories where like from time to time he visits cancer patients, little children cancer patients, and he just hangs out with them. And one time he brings like a group of them to the Justice League Watchtower to hang out with the Justice League, and like try to make Batman laugh and do scavenger hunts, and like he puts them in like spacesuits so they can like walk on the moon and write their name in like moon rocks and stuff, and place them back on like the moon surface. And like one of the kids asked like, do you think I can beat cancer or something like that? And Superman didn't give him any kind of like false promises or like whatever. He tried to be as honest as possible without making them lose any kind of hope. It's just like, whatever happens, that's why we brought you out here to do this, to write your names here. Whatever happens, you will live on, right here, and it's like, uh, that kind of thing. It's like I'm butchering it a little bit, but it's just like he gives them comfort. He doesn't BS them, but he doesn't give them any false. He always knows the right thing to say. Just like with Captain America, like they always know those kind of characters, those the good characters always know the right thing to say. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's always a way to tell a good Superman story. You just got to put the effort and the thought behind it. Because everybody wants to do a Batman story because it's so easy. You just put him against his thousands of rogues, and that's a different allegory of his personality kind of thing. It's like, oh, Scarecrow, fear. Yeah, that has to do with like trying to poison the water supply so he can figure out a way to make a chemical to cure everybody and then stop the thing. It's like, I'm pretty sure you can easily tell a great story. I'm not knocking it, but it's just like, it's just easier, and it's harder to make a good Superman story because nobody wants to put in the effort to make a optimistic story, or try to make a good story that plays off of like an allegory to his powers in some fashion, or at least challenges his powers in a certain way, like the more recent DC animated movie with Superman after the reboot that occurred in the movie animated movie universe, where he's like his first time in Metropolis, he's dealing with the parasite, and it challenges his powers because like I said, sometimes a villain can challenge his powers when he can equal them in power in some fashion. So you usually got to outthink them in some fashion. Like in Superman Earth 1, once again, it was like in the volume 1 when he's dealing with this new kind of villain just for the particular volume, this particular alien who's just as powerful as he is on Earth's surface thanks to the yellow sun, and he has to find a way to deal with them. But he does not stop giving the villain a chance to end their problems, or at least trying to help them when they know that it's usually not their fault, like the parasite. Some version of the parasite, Rudy Jones's actual name, is not usually his fault. He's usually by accident that he's turned that way. Or even like Livewire in the Superman 90s anime series, which I highly recommend, that Livewire is just like the misled soul, or at least she's like in some versions is full of herself kind of situation. But he does not stop out, holding out his hand and say, I'm here, I will help you, please let me help you. And because other versions like this, like evil version of Superman, trying to impose his will on people, and it's like Superman doesn't really do that. He doesn't do it at all. He's supposed to be like a Jesus allegory, where like Jesus doesn't force his will or his ideals onto people. He lays out what he does, what he's willing to offer people, and he gives them the choice to take it. That's kind of thing. That's just my brief summary of why I love Superman as a character, and I wish we hurry up and get back to. I'm pretty sure that's what they do in like the DC shared universe at this point with Henry Cavill, which I'm pretty sure he's still playing Superman. And like last time I heard, he's still playing Superman, and I'm pretty sure Henry Cavill, from what I've heard from certain interviews, that he wants to get to that version of Superman so he can, do that hope thing, just remind people of why we love Superman in the first place, and get out of that whole mindset of that hardcore, edgy Superman that's boring as hell. It was intriguing with the Injustice Superman video game, or not even is Injustice in general video games. It was intriguing at first. It's played out because everybody's wanting to do that now. It became like a whole thing in the past few years, and it's boring. It's tired. It's played out, at least to me, and at least a handful of people from what I've heard. Man, it's just that's just what I hope is what to come with more Superman movies down the line. Like, Matt Reeves' Batman is doing, his own thing, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be our main Batman moving forward after the Flashpoint movie. And it's like, I want, when Henry Cavill gets his own solo movie with with a different director and everything like that, they follow the, hopeful Superman like Christopher Reeve. That should be the basis. That's the foundation. If you want to make a Superman movie, Christopher Reeve Superman is supposed to be the foundation. No matter what interpretation you're doing, he's supposed to be the foundation. And do not lose that hope and that charm and the smile, and go out of his way to save people. That kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, the good recommendations of Superman comics if you want to get into Superman Earth 1, why Superman versus the Elite movie, the Action Comics #1, there's plenty. Let me give you a few more here, because there's so many. Superman Rebirth. Check out Superman Rebirth. Like the first 10 issues of Superman Rebirth moving forward, that's a good jumping on point for a lot of people. If you haven't read a Superman comic before, that's a good jumping on point if you want to really get your start on Superman Rebirth, issue 1 through 10. Check that out. And then Superman Earth 1, you want to check that out too. Great, great stuff. I mean, Superman Up in the Sky, you can probably check that out. Superman Doomsday, that's a good Superman story. Well, it's definitely Superman. It's Superman Doomsday, but it's definitely Superman. Just a technical title. My apologies. Superman but Superman and Shazam. That's a great comic story. Superman Unchained. Yeah, that's pretty good comics. And as far as like movies, or at least TV shows, Smallville TV show. Check out the first season of Smallville when you get the chance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on HBO Max, but you can easily look it up online anywhere. But I'm pretty sure HBO Max, if you have HBO Max app, check out type in Superman, you get a whole plethora of Superman stuff. But yeah, like Superman, first 2 Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, great films. Highly recommend those. Superman 3 and 4, you can just avoid those because that's just bad writing altogether. You don't want to really watch those. But yeah, those are Superman 90s TV show, animated series, great TV show. Highly recommend that. And then of course the Justice League animated TV show and Justice League Unlimited, great Superman moments in those. But yeah, that is my video of why I love Superman. Please leave a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. Let me know what you like about Superman, what's your favorite comic book from Superman, or TV show or movie, or what have you. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to Talkative Carl on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I'll see you all later for the next on-camera discussion video. And please take care of yourself, and I will see you all soon. Bye.